Hey there, and welcome back to the Train of Thought, an educational monster train series where we fight the divinity in every run. Alright, so this is the first episode I have recorded all week, and I realize that doesn't give you any context for anything, so let me elaborate. But basically, I have not recorded my normal episodes this week, and it is currently Tuesday morning, and I am recording the first one. Why, you might ask, and why does this matter? Because home ownership. So, if you're one of the folks on Discord, my Discord server, who discussed this with me when it happened, I basically skipped an episode that I was going to upload recently. I imagine for you all this is actually a few weeks in the past, but still. And the reason is because my water just inexplicably shut off in the morning of a Saturday. Or was it a Saturday? I think it was a Saturday. Honestly, it was a Sunday actually. And so I spent the entirety of maybe something like 24 hours trying to solve this. Turns out, did you know a water pump can just fail silently? No warning, no signs whatsoever, no notifications. It just fails. And you then have to replace the entire water pump system in order for your water to work if you're using a well, because how else are you getting water out of the well? It was nasty. I there's some things about home ownership that are great. It's great owning a home, being like, yeah, all right, cool. I have a place that's mine, and that's awesome. Huge fan of that, actually. But, buddy, I hate the maintenance. Are you serious? When something just stops working, it's awful. And it ruined my day for like 3 days straight. I was so high stress after that. I was like, oh, God, something else is going to break. Something is going to need my time. How am I going to relax? And this is also funny because it's interesting to think about how often how easy it is for me to get disrupted on things like my relaxation, right? If I lose a weekend day due to, I don't know, home ownership nonsense, suddenly I am anxious the entire week. And it's like, wow, all right, fair enough. Routines are important, folks. So it was a wild ride. Very frustrating having to deal with that. I'll admit that at least it was just the water pump. I was actually worried it was the electricity, right? Specifically, I thought maybe the electrical connections between the house and the water pump had gone, because the issue I was noticing was in the fuse box itself. So I'm just glad it was an encapsulated system that failed that could be easily replaced by someone I could pay to deal with it. That's honestly as easy as it gets. I mean, fortunately, in this case, it was just a matter of calling the right person and getting them out to fix it. Once I realized what the problem was, right? Because it's hard to predict. The first thought was, okay, it could be the city that I call. All right, great. So I did that. Then it was, what if it's an electrical problem? So I did that. I mean, there's a lot of questions here. Anyway, it's behind us. I have water again, something that we easily take for granted, and it's nice to have. Turns out water is important. It's one of those things, actually, my SO commented on this, and I thought it was very entertaining. It's one of those things where you're never really thinking about how much someone will spend or deal with to get basic necessities, and water is one of those. So you don't have that, and suddenly, oh man, all right, we'll do what do we need to do to get it back, figure it out. And you can charge a lot of money for that stuff. So, and they did. Ugh. Anyway, let's play Monster Train. That's why we're all here. So, what the heck are we doing? We're currently on, gosh, a 256 win streak. It's pretty good. We had an unironic for the greater good in the previous episode. That's always cool to see, right? We love to see that. It doesn't come up often, admittedly. We didn't have a better choice from either of the upgrades, and I think for the greater good helped considerably. It was a Titan Channel run. Yeah, we ended up with Titan Channel 3. We had 2 copies of Multi-Strike Incant Armor 2 Siren of the Sea Self-Infused. We had a Self-Infused Shark. There was a Totem Fragment with Tethys Scales, and a plus 30 holdover Glimmer that was doing a lot of heavy lifting. Ice Empire was contributing, Ice Storm, big spells. And then also a Killer Guild Marker. Kind of a weird run, but we get there, right? It takes the win, so that's great. And you know what? It's fantastic because I get to play Primordium today. That's excellent news. I'm looking forward to this. So, not much more to add. As always, do like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's see what Primordium's got for us today. Hopefully it's not too bad. He's a funny looking character. He's a funny looking guy. Alright, let's click the button. You know, I was reading the patch notes from recently, I mean, I guess it was October 2021, and I thought about that and said, wow, it's almost been 3 years since the last patch of the DLC. That's crazy. It's not October yet in 2024, but it will be soon, and just thinking about that, that's wild. Woof. It's been a long time. You know, thinking about it, there's a Slay the Spire 2 coming out. Maybe we'll get the trifecta, and we'll have a Monster Train 2 coming out as well. That would be awesome. I could think of a lot of things they could do for this game. Well, specifically, I say this game. I think they could. There's a lot of stuff they could change that would be really cool in order to make it justified that it would be a second game rather than a patch. I understand why they wouldn't want to update the game itself, though. I think they had a sour relationship with their publisher. I actually don't know the details of it, but this is just a suspicion, right? Because they dropped the publisher with Inkbound. I suspect that was a major reason they moved on. So, anyway, that's enough speculation. Let's play Monster Train. Today we are Exile Umbra, Exile Wurmkin. It's great. We have pings, no problems here. We're facing Pushback Talos, Curse Arcus, Sap Seraph. Pushback Talos is nasty, but it could be worse, right? I don't hate it that much. Cards are Making of a Morsel, Proclamation, Cave-In. None of these are fantastic. They're fine. Proclamation's good, right? It's not the best card I could see here, but it's fine. Making of a Morsel is sometimes okay. Having morsel generation in general is pretty good. I kind of prefer things like packed morsels here because they're an injection of morsels and then they go away, which is great for purposes of just like having enough morsel generation but not really wanting to invest too much into it. You can just play it and get rid of it, right? It's a one-time draw. Making of a morsel is a little more annoying than that, but maybe if we actually do end up on an important line here with morsels, we can make this work. It's interesting, when you think about it, Making of a Morsel is really trying to fulfill the role of something like a razor sharp edge and fails horribly at it, right? It's just because morsels are so weak and they require space, which is very suboptimal in general, and you can't control who eats it, right? It just goes to the front dude. So despite the fact that it is a +6/+6, it's actually quite terrible. It's just one of those bummer things about morsels. Yeah, fair enough. And then Cave-In is also technically here. This card actually saved my run recently in a daily, but I actually think, generally speaking, Cave-In is a terrible card. I think it is bad. There's a lot of reasons I could go into for why it's bad. It has its moments because, you know, you're still moving units. Unit movement and overstacking and things like that, strong, right? You can definitely find use for it. But it's good with, say, for instance, a Sketches line. You can just drop the whole floor to first floor, or you could play your champion on top and then drop them into your Sketches floor, and it's pretty cool. In general, those things are strong, right? But you could also do that with Hidden Passage, Dripfall, any of those, and those are much more powerful, flexible cards that can be used in other situations validly, right? You can disrupt enemy floors, you can daze enemies, etc. Cave-In, you can't just willy-nilly play, right? Because this thing also disrupts your own floor. You don't have as much control over it as you want. So, anyway, let's see what we roll into. Oh, I almost just autopiloted and didn't read the map. Can you tell it is the morning for me? Probably. Alright, temples today are 2, 3, 6, 7. 4 temples, looking decent. Dupe on 8 is Steel Side, fine. There's a random dupe on 7 that's kind of weak otherwise. Steel Shop competing, no magic. Alright. Trinket Shop, magic, no steel on 6. Magic has a Vortex Cave, though. It's pretty good. Magics are fine here, right? 20 consumes might matter if we go Etch. It's also good for Planks, things like that. There might be other upgrades we want. Holdover could probably be good, though we don't have a good target for it yet. Steel and Magic on 5. Steel Shop has a Vortex, feels good. I like the mix of Steel Magic here. That's nice and useful. Another good Steel Shop on 4 with a Vortex. Cool. We might need the Wurmkin banner on 4, competing with that with a Horde. So, possible. At least there's a steel shop in our future if we do that, but note the lack of kind of like, there's always a shop missing on 6 and 7, though it's always alternating, right? And yeah, no magic shop on 4 actually, which means that we do get double magics early. Cool. Wurmkin banner on steel side on 2. Good. We don't get forced into Umbra here. That's nice. Primordium can prop up pretty much anything though, so I kind of don't care. You could make a Crucible collector win with him, so it's kind of like, alright, fair enough, buddy. There is an Umbra banner on the magic side on 3 if I need it though, so we'll see. Alright, this is Primordium. Yes. I'm going to take first Hell Pact here, every time. I have no X-Costers here, but it's Primordium, which means we have Umbra. Umbra is exceptional with first Hell Pact. There's so many good targets for this. Things like Prismal Dust, what is it, Mind Collapse, Forever Consumed, the Spikes. Way better than Commemorative Spike here, so yeah, cool. Superfood, Stalwart Snack. I take Superfood here 10 times out of 10. There are not many buffs in Wurmkin that benefit here, but at a minimum I can take this to 2nd level and end up with Damage Shield 2, which gets Superfood eaten, which is great. I'll take this Horde. We have pings, so I can access backlines. Light's Gift. Refracting Lens, obviously powerful with a Wurmkin here, and Hell's Banners is good, but Light's Gift is fantastic. We'll click that. What a good pickup. Happy to have seen it. I can freely take the unit draft here. I'm going to leak stuff because I'm not going to do enough damage to kill all these clergy, but we should be okay. The only challenge here is making sure we actually can deal with the wave that spawns in front of the boss. I suppose we just feed the train steward here, right? There's nothing particularly crazy about this. We'll generate purples downstairs. Sure. Great, we get the collector. Cool. I'm going to blast a proclamation down here. There's no hope for me to really do much else. I'm just trying to generate the echoes here. I think we killed, what, 1 guy upstairs? Definitely play the Making of a Morsel. This is how you win Relentless, I think. I might draw the proclamation this turn or next turn, depending on draw orders. So let's put... I'm tempted to put a Making of a Morsel in the pool. Let's actually do that and then generate a purple middle so I have the option of Proclamation on either of the 2 turns. We're not playing the Minor. Our goal is to have it for Relentless. We'll take, 3 damage, whatever. Fine. Yeah, we didn't draw it here, which is actually important to keep in mind. Unfortunately, the Clergyman that got upgraded is in the back. It is what we're dealing with. Plink once middle, so I can always hit this proclamation next turn. Let's try to ping one of these guys down. It might be possible to get him. Alright, fine. Cool, bonk, taking a bunch of damage. We're down, what, 11 so far? It could be worse, right? We actually, man, double proclamations is pretty cool, right? That makes this, I think, pretty clean. Okay. Play the Minor. That gets the kill. Great. I was gonna say, what's the best way of doing this, but that worked out. And then we put the other man down. Our damage is, not great, but Minor is propping us up a bit, so that's fine. We only take 11 for the trial, and that's honestly fantastic. Unfortunately, no X-Costers in my Umbra pack. We had 2 that we could hit. Immortal Trade Packed Morsels is not bad if I want that injection I was talking about, but I am leaning towards Wurmkin banner here. Ping would not be terrible, but I actually think Echo Breaks are better. Immortal Trade's not terrible, but... man, this is a real bummer of a pack, right? No Perils, no Mind Collapse, no Prismal Dust. 3 really good targets. Really good pickups, and we didn't see any of them. We got this trash instead. There are, what, 8 common cards, I think? This is a thing I can check. The logbook tells me. I think it's 8. Umbra, common... yeah, it's 8. Because the Plink and Rubble Morsels don't count, right? Yeah. It's true. Oh, Shade Splitters are also in this list, though they're on another page. Yeah. So, I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cards, and there were, what, 1, 2, 3 that I wanted to see? It's pretty likely, actually. I saw 3 other ones. I don't know. It can happen. Do we take Immortal Trade? We might. I think I am going to take it. It's good enough. Forgotten Trade is purple. Proclamation again. Shelter. None of these are exciting. None of these are exciting. I'll take the purple's Etch because it could matter depending on what we draft into. Okay, the units are good. Carver, First of Kin, Alloyed Construct. Wurmkin Banner coming up. Alloyed Construct is tempting, right? We have some morsel generation. It's tempting because it has multi-strike, but let me tell you, it's actually quite rough. We can at least guarantee Primordium eats here, or gets eaten rather. We could have the Self-Infuse on ring 3. It's strong if we hit Shroud Spike, right? I wonder if that's correct. The nice thing is we don't have to hit multi-strike, because he at least has it. So that's nice. Our morsel generation is pretty flimsy. It's what? Making of a morsels plus Primordium, which is going to be maybe... I think it's enough into ring 2. And we have to self-infuse on ring 3. Now, alternatively, I could go Carver here. And then go Etches. The problem I say with Carver is that Carver, you usually would want to take space and have 2 on the floor. He's pretty big. But Primordium takes up too much space. Now, you could, I mean, I literally described this before, right? We could do Primordium drop in via Cave-In. That requires a few too many pieces to be found, right? I need the intrinsic, probably a permafrost, so I can play the second Carver first. Then you still do need double space because Carvers are 6 and you only have 4 on middle. And I'm not playing bottom, it's too slow. So, all those factors considered, I mean, Alloyed Construct looks the best here. Downside. You must solve morsels. Upside. I don't care if I miss multi-strike. It's nice to get another one. I don't need it, though. I mean, we're looking at, what, like multi-strike, damage shield 3. Quick is unnecessary. Large stone is probably still pretty decent, but I don't think I'd want it. It's basically just multi-strike. I mean, you're still looking for a multi-strike is the thing. I haven't talked about First of Kin. How's he looking here? Good stat line. I have an Etch. I'm likely to get more with 20 consumes. He's pretty reasonable scaling. Decent infusion. Carver's a good infusion too. What could this Wurmkin banner show me that feels really good? Keeper of Echoes. Stat buff on Primordium. Keeper of Echoes is pretty big. Keeper of Echoes takes a Shard Soul Carver infusion pretty well. Carver's infusion in general is really strong here. We should probably take Carver, especially since we're going to be looking for multi-strikes on this Alloyed Construct anyway. Maybe we get like a Trample or something. I'm going to take the Carver. I think it's right here. I've weaseled myself into this decision. I think Alloyed Construct still requires too much support, right? We don't have morsel protection. I'd have to find it somehow. We'd be looking for things like Feast or whatever. Even with Primordium, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if I ended up on this line, but it is still, because I have other options that are good, I'm going to take the Carver. Interesting. Not often do I get that much of a choice, but fun. Let's go ahead and look at the Wurmkin banner, see what we hit. The large stone, that's rough. Wurmkin banner says Glare Minder. Yeah, sweep is good. I'll take sweep. Yeah, I'll take Glare Minder. Yeah, okay. Cool, that's something. A plus 30 is fine here, but nothing incredible. I do think we want to do that infusion right away, if I'm being honest with you. Unfortunately, I cannot reroll and afford to do anything fancy here, so we're just kind of dealing with this garbage. But I do think this infusion provides a lot of value immediately. Cool, yeah, great, fine. Don't take anything else. 40 shards is enough, let's move. There's an argument for a plus 25 here, but I don't think we need it, right? I don't think we need this because he has a defensive infusion and got 15 health from that, so we're okay. We can just hunt multi-strikes. It's a real bummer not being able to re-roll that. It's one of the reasons, so the strongest reason I prefer plus money in the early game, right? Unit draft. Do I need this for any reason? No. There's nothing they could show me that would make me happier than just using what I have. It's worth 10 gold, which is not bad, admittedly, but... Ah, come on, Plink. Ugh, bummer. Okay, sure. Sure, Monster Train, sure. I'd like to Plink there. Alright, good, fine. I'm gonna at least put down some morsels here. Get that out. We're doing low damage upstairs, unfortunately, but I kind of anticipated this being a thing. I can generate purples here, which is something. Do some damage. We get double making of a morsels. Nothing gets played out. I'm going to leave them in. They're really good card draws. Yeah, this is part of why I didn't want to take that trial. We're just going to eat hits for no real benefit here. Now, I do want to ping out Curse Boys downstairs, that's for sure. And we want to etch if we can. We're eating dirt up here, 3 hits from this backline guy. He's got an upgraded big man, which is awful. Let's ping 1 here, it's good. Then you go Plink and we hit him with a proclamation. I think I self-ping upstairs. Sure. We win this combat. Yeah, we get through it. It's not glamorous. I mean, we actually do really well with the proclamation, but, you know, fair enough. Okay, we take, what, like 12 damage? 14? Gosh, we actually would have died here if I had taken that trial, so that's kind of wild. What an awful upgrade. We do see a Prismal Dust, which is fantastic. That's great. It's purple. Cool. Now... Look, I want to take it. I think I have to click Perils. I think I literally have to click Perils of Production or I lose. And it's a real bummer because it's also not purple. Turtle Carver Infusion, no! I didn't even... Maybe they'll show me Bounding Echoes and we can still make it work. I think I have to click Perils of Production here, which is a huge bummer. But I think I must. Our damage is not good enough. Yeah, unfortunate. Hey, Bounding Echoes. Honestly, yes. I actually think this is better than Echo Transfer. Yes, it is. Because if I see the holdover goes in Perils, we connect the dots here, and this becomes awesome. Yeah, that's much stronger overall. We're going to the magic shop now, for sure. Give me a spell chain. They showed me the spell chain. Give me a holdover. Okay, it's a 20 consume. I'll take that on a Plink at least. I can afford to take a -1 and reroll, so I'll do it. Never remove consume. Alright, they gave me a permafrost. Now, I know what you're thinking. Shadow Eater, Crucible Collector, Warden, whatever you are. No, skip that. It's fine. I don't want it. I'm going to do the spell chain here on... Gosh, am I greeting on this? Do we win Relentless here? We should. I want the spell chain now. The Purge Stone is... No, I don't think so. We'll save the Permafrost. I'm probably buying that for the Bounding Echoes, but, you know, fair enough. You ever copy a card 5 times on Perils of Production here? This is quiet because I'm thinking about it. This is a bit YOLO, but this is a really good card to have more copies of because it means I can freely play them, right? Much more likely anyway. It's such a gamble, but it's really good, actually. It's really good is the thing? You know what? Yeah. In a run like this, I think so. And then I do think we keep the Permafrost on the Bounding Echoes. We'll connect that dot. I'll buy a -1 in an Echo Break. Our goal here now is to clean up, to delete bad cards. Because The more likelihood that I draw into one of these spell chain perils, the better off we are. Any magic shops are high value here. Yeah, don't take anything else. I mean, a purge is pretty decent, actually. What do you cut here? What is the purge on this one? Cave-in. It's probably cave-in. Though this still costs 1 ember to play, which is a huge bummer. I think I would rather purge uplink. And then... Man, imagine if these perils were purple. Gosh, that would be awesome. I'm going to purge uplink. Moving on. 65 shards. It's high, but doable. I think we're going to be okay. As long as I play these aggressively, maybe draw one with Primordium early, it's fine. Clareminder? You got this, right? You can take this hit? Sure, you take this hit, okay. I do think we need to etch. I'm not etch, but buff here pretty rapidly. I need to do more damage. It's okay. It's possible they get spun around, right? I do think we want to Perils up here in kind of wild fashion. You may as well take the Immortal trade here, right? Big Plink here. That's a good hit. I like it. I'm going to self-ping upstairs. Sure. Don't go upstairs, buddy. Go down. Alright, good. I think she was not guaranteed, but I do think it was likely. Just keep making etches here, and I think we'll be okay. Take the Making of a Morsel, leave it in. We are essentially... We're doing a lot of damage here now. 80 damage, we're sweeping floors out. I mean, this is a good Bounding Echoes turn, I think. Hit that Proclamation. It doesn't really matter too terribly much. This 14 is coming from the fact that I lifesteal, so I can actually play the Train Steward here as a tank. And we do a casual 108. This is good. This is like genuinely strong as long as I can keep drawing Perils of production eventually. And we are, right? We're seeing the answers, and it's working out. I don't even need to hit that Proclamation. We're fine. We're killing the big heavies, which are the ones that matter. Now, you're going to have turns like this where I don't have anything. Card draw is going to be super important. I think we already win this combat right now. Yeah, we do. In fact, win this combat. Just keep playing purple cards when you can. They're valuable. And this is enough health to win this combat, for sure. Good. Great news. Cool. Good. Great news. Alright, I think this looks promising. This looks promising. Shroud's Spike is a good payoff. Echoes of the Past is itself purple, though. Shroud Spike is a very hard card to value. It's pretty decent if I draw it on the same turn as a Perils of Production, though. Problem, of course, being that it doesn't work on Primordium, so it's, again, another Permafrost target. Magic shops become high priority for me. Man, what a bummer on this steel shop coming up, right? No money. I'm going to get exactly enough cash here to, what? Look at the top. It's going to be a real bummer on the steel shop alignments when it comes to the cash, though. Echoes of the Past is maybe the right play. Make it free, and suddenly it pays out my purples. I actually think it is Echoes of the Past. We're not getting value out of first Hell Pact circumstantially, and I hate it. Skip all these cards. Okay, take card draw. Absolutely, I need to draw into those Perils. We go what left? Removals are important, even if I don't get any value out of the steel shop. Quick is unhelpful, not that I could afford it anyway. I will take the Horde. Man, Sinner Salve is nice, isn't it? Sinner Salve is actually pretty decent here. We have Curse Arcus coming up, and I'm playing top floor. I guess I don't have to, but bottom floor is real dicey. Hammered Chestplates is low impact. I normally wouldn't humor the Sinner Salve here, but it will provide value. It could, I mean, Absolvers on 4, we could get Penitent on 7. The fact that I have a guaranteed Absolver combat on 6 also pushes it in my favor. I actually think Sinner Salve is better here than the alternatives. I like, by the way, 40 health, Precious Plating, good, but I think the Sinner Salve is going to provide more value. I want to make sure I don't leave any of them in, is the thing. Take that Stalwart Snack now that I'm seeing it. Yeah, for sure. 5 Buffet is good. Removals. I do need to cut trash. Train Stewards are going to be very bad and hard to play. They must go. They must go. I can get nothing out of this steel shop. This is bad. Next steel shops are 5 and 7, and then I'm going to the one on 8. So I have 3 in my path. Do I win with no upgrades here? I think I do, actually. As long as I successfully... Yeah, as long as I successfully do the thing I need... Okay, as long as I can get the Perils in motion. Draw is important. I think we're fine. Hit that movement. Don't be Firelight Master? Cool, honestly. Great. Ancient Hate does not frighten me here. I don't really need my spells, which is good. This is great. I'll accept this. We're going to play Mr. Glareminder, Primordium. Getting that turn 1 Perils here provides a lot of value that I'm very happy about. The purple plays are important. There's no spikes in this combat, right? Not afraid of Primordium dying? True. Just shoot him, right? It's fine. Okay, another turn I can't play anything. Bummer. Hit that end turn button, I guess. I'm not going to drop the Bounding Echoes on nothing here. Okay, that sucks. We hate to see that. Alright, we see at least a Perils. This is potentially an important turn for it, so I'm going to click it. Just, it's early enough that I value this. Play some cards out. Generate the purples here, and then use Echoes of the Past for plus 60 damage. Yeah, alright, we're fine. Great, thanks, Echoes of the Past. We feed 3 turns of that into Glareminder, and we're cruising, right? And then we get the Immortal Trade down, and we're fine. Tons of damage. Playing out a Train Steward is value here as well. Yeah, okay, we do 1,000,000 damage now. Great, fantastic. We get a bunch of buff. This is good. This is kind of what you're hoping for here. He etched. I sometimes forget that's an option. And look, we're going to get a curse here. Oh no, a curse. Ah, bummer. I didn't plan for this. It's okay, I don't actually care that much. Plus 30. Good. Because, wait for it. Haha, got him. Sinner Salve. Fantastic news. Alright, we're winning this combat. If I see a multi-strike here, I'm going to feel pretty darned good about myself. So let's plan on just hitting, right? Just hit. We're actually in an overall pretty decent place here, right? 444, I mean, I get hit once and then I murder. It's good damage. It's Primordium carrying, but an early buff does a lot of work. Engine upgrade? No, I'm Ember draining myself to the bottoms of the barrel. We're not taking engine upgrade. Cannibalize, Excavation Eruption, skipping. You know, Alloy Construct was a super online play, by the way. They showed the Shroud Spike. We had him, right? We could easily have won this Alloy Construct here. I think I could have tussled myself into deciding that, and this run would have also been in the bag that way. Now, the thing is you're not guaranteed to see that, right? I still think this line is equally viable, but, you know, fair enough. Ancient Resonance, no, this is not useful. I have a sweeper. Force Contamination is an important card, I think, actually. We should consider this because mini-bosses are a threat unless I hit multi-strike. I'll take that card, sure. One of the few I would add at this position. Magic Shop, Steel Shop. I think the Steel Shop wins because of the Vortex. We're going to go there. It's basically just multi-strike we're looking for, but we'll see. Large Stone, nope. Quick. Quick is not good. The removal's valuable regardless. We're going to cut Cave In because it's dead. I'm going to cut a Train Steward, improve these initial draws. Am I? Yeah, I am going to cut a Train Steward. We're going to spend some money here to improve our draws. Purge another Train Steward. I know what you're thinking, there probably are better purges, and there are, I think, because you can actually play out those guys pretty quickly. I'm going to drop a Making of a Morsel here. I'm actually probably dropping both of these right now. What's coming up? Magic Shop has a Vortex, which is where I'm going, but it doesn't have money. So we're going to save the remainder of this cash. Actually, hold up. I'm going to spend this money because it improves my combat. We're cutting the Making of a Morsel, and I'm going to take the money in the middle, and this is how I can get through to this Magic Shop comfortably. Going down to 26 cards is a big improvement. Remember, the goal here is entirely to draw fast. This multi-strike doesn't threaten me. Light's Gift, it's a free artifact. If I leak here, I have done something horribly wrong. Cool. Oh no, I played Primordium first. It's fine. I'm already Ember draining myself to 0 here, so it doesn't really matter. Self-ping is fine. Good getting some damage like that. Big fan of that. This is a very strong turn for me. You'll see in a second why. We generate the purples, then we hit that Echo of the Past for plus 24, and my man is having a good day. It's a lot of damage. We will easily clobber this backline guy, who is scary, by the way. He's dicey. 180? Oof. It's not good. I'm going to play the Forgotten trait here so I can generate a purple. It's good to do it. Does some damage. These proclamations I could have made purple, but I don't want to. Those might get cut, by the way. They might not be long for this world. We get a Perils. Great news. Play a bunch of purples, pretty much. Keep playing purple cards. Great. We were over the point of relevance anyway. Sacrifice these morsels. I don't want them on the floor. Force Contamination. We also had that in the bag if I needed it. I don't need it, though. Alright, cool. We're doing enough damage that we beat the strongest enemies on this floor. So this is their Bounding Echo's turn, for sure. We get double Perils with purples here, which is high value. This is especially relevant because I can now generate plus 78, which I'm just going to put in the front because it's the last turn, unfortunately. I'm going to sacrifice this morsel. Great news. We're doing enough damage that I do reasonably think we win in, what, 2 hits? Yeah. We 2-turn this boss, so that's good. Our goal here is now essentially just to keep playing purple stuff because it's important. Cool. Just keep playing purples. Great. We're definitely 2-turning here. Yes. Ping the boss, I guess. Those proclamations are probably not long for this world. 2 rounds, we win. Oh, actually 1 round we win. Because of, wait for it, Force Contamination. It's a good card, as it turns out. I think that's a strong card. Oh no, I hit the guy in back. What do I do? Womp. 2,200 damage-ish. I will take Jack Strips. That's going to be helpful. Good enough. There's Feast. Alright, so I mean, Alloy Construct, super was online here. Emberforge, Cave-In, I just got rid of Cave-In. No thank you, I'll take money. Unearthed Remains, Power of Knowledge, Ambient Charge. Ambient Charge is maybe okay, actually, because I could draw stuff. I don't really want to consume the Perils if I hit them, though, right? Yeah, I think we skip here and just take the cash. We just cut the cards down and we're okay. We're going to this Magic Shop for sure. Chasing removals, high value here. Remove, consume. Tempting on the Bounding Echoes, actually. Play that more than once. Spell Chain, huh? Okay, first order of business. -1 here goes into Echoes of the Past. There's no world where I don't do this. I want to be able to play this even if I draw poorly. Very important card. Plus 10 magic power. Remove, consume? I don't think so. Our removals here, I think, are just plinks. If I get more 20 consumes, I can just put them into Echo Breaks, and that's okay, right? There's a non-zero chance I consider remove consuming the Bounding Echoes. On redraws, I can just hold on to it if I don't want to play it, so that's fine. The only problem is if I buy this, I go to 170, which is not safe for a reroll. I'm just going to hold on to this. We're chilling. No holdover. We got a double stack. You could double stack Force Contamination and really wall up something here, which is nice. I might actually do that. I'm actually going to 20 consume a Plink here. Get rid of that guy. Seems good. And I'm probably cutting the Proclamations. Let's double stack Force Contamination. I think this is actually super worth it. And then we'll toss a -1 at it so it's still free. Pretty decent. I'm going to remove... I actually think this is both Proclamations. Heavies are a concern, but we're going to ramp past that. So let's drop both Proclamations here. Now granted, if I see Karuska, I'm going to feel a little bad about that, but it's not that awful, right? Caverns. I'll trade Pyre Health for Chain of Gems? Absolutely. This has been the greatest trade deal in the history of trade deals. What? Amazing. I'm actually going to spell chain the Bounding Echoes. It gives me a second use of this, which I think is relevant. Now, of course, it's a 1-cost second use, which is a bit of a bummer, so I'm not going to be able to get all of them, but maybe I make it work. This card is actually really relevant to this run. Like, really relevant. Very important, because the Perils don't trigger Carver's Infusion right now. And I want to make them do that. Especially since we haven't hit the holdover yet. But it doesn't matter, right? Holdover, I have 6 of these in the deck. It's a great example of my deck is doing a lot of really great things, and I just need to keep drawing those great things. So if I keep removing garbage and drawing faster, we're better off. Oops, don't do that. Well, yeah, I'm going to put this in Bounding Echoes, actually. Let's do it. I know what you're thinking. Why not Echoes of the Past? Don't need it. It's fine. 105 shards. Let's move on. I think we best Shadow here, no problem. I would have been a little more concerned about him because I'm just letting these curses walk on me, but we're not dealing with anything too dicey here. Right? Oh, Primordium. Why did I do it this way? I forgot I got the Chain of Gems. I always make these mistakes, don't I? That's okay. Not that big of a deal. Make the purples. And then we get that turn 1 Echoes of the Past. That's pretty decent. It's going to be a lot of damage gained. And then all of these curses are free, fortunately. Yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer not getting the Chain of Gems value here, but it's fine. I don't really care that much. Unfortunately, no Force Contamination on the boss. Now, this is one that he's going to have... He doesn't have the incants on this, does he? It's, what? Harvest Rally? Yeah, it's Harvest Rally, so those are okay. I guess I'm going to ping here, sure. Boop. Fine. No big deal. All these curses actually don't threaten me that much, which is nice, right? And then we keep playing Perils. We're getting a lot of damage here, which is nice. Curses are not great. Let's stack these things. Ugh. Well. Okay. That means he's probably going downstairs. He's literally going to punish me for this. Oh, his rally. Thank goodness. Whew. Alright, good. Great. It's not as strong of a Primordium as we've gotten in the past, but I think it's good enough. Alright, now this is your Bounding Echoes turn number 1, right? Because then I get purples on multiples here, which is awesome. High value play. We actually get an etch on the man, which is funny. We're doing enough damage to clear here, so that's important. Now here's what you have to do on this one. You have to... I should have held on to that for the moment. You Perils 1, then we Bounding Echoes, and then all of the rest are now purple, which is pretty decent. Actually getting a lot of value out of those Bounding Echoes here, right? It's true. Ping 1, Echoes of the Past here for 50-something damage. Again, we're going to win this combat. Not concerned about it in the least. Unfortunately, we do miss your friend Force Contamination here, but we're going to cruise through this. Not too terribly worried. Alright. So actually, believe it or not, I think it's the lifesteal that helps here. I almost buffed the boss. Can you tell I shouldn't play the game in the mornings? Whew. Yeah, it's the lifesteal that actually does a lot of the work there. The math checks out. I didn't have to worry too much about this, so whatever. Unearthed Remains, do I really care? Symphony of a Soul is pretty cool if I can actually ever play it. We have a lot of rage generated and armor generated. I'm going to a magic shop, aren't I? No. Still pretty cool. I'm going to take this card. Yeah, I think that generates a lot of value. Take another card draw, for sure. We just fully disrespected Arcus there. Completely and totally. Go to the steel shop. Maybe we actually upgrade our unit. Quick, huh? Ah, fantastic. It's too bad I don't have money. Ah! It's fine. In case Divinity is reasonably valuable, this guarantees value on a number of things. Sure. Alright. Divine Temple. Spell Chain again. I was hoping for a -2. You know, hoping for that -2. Intrinsic here is tempting. We'll find value. Superfood. I definitely want Damage Shield 2 out of the gate here. I know what you're thinking. Stalwart Snack 2, but we're never going to keep him alive long enough. Is the problem? Yeah, we want the Superfood 2 here. This guarantees me what? Damage Shield 4, which is a very relevant number. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be this, right? Yes, it does. Let's see what the caves say today. What do you get? For the greater good, but wait. But wait, I actually think Sunderstone is much better on this one. Although Sapstone's not terrible, but Sunderstone, just drop that in. Show me multi-strike and we're fine. I only have the one steel shop remaining anyway, so I might as well take Sunderstone on my unupgraded guy. It's very funny. What am I going to do? Take quick here? No. What am I going to do? Reroll and not be able to afford anything? No. It's rough, but it's funny. I'll tell you. Intrinsic Echoes of the Past is actually pretty huge if I can generate Echoes on turn 1, which is pretty likely, right? It's reasonably likely. This gives a lot of baseline damage that I really appreciate. You could also Intrinsic a Perils, which adds, what, 6 Rage, which is decent. Not as decent as most Echoes of the Past hits, though. What spell chain angles do I have that are decent? None, I don't think. You could maybe, like, do Echo Break, but I like them just being free nothing burgers. Maybe I buy a removal. Actually, I think they're too expensive, right? Yeah, 180. There you go. I can't actually afford a removal. It's okay. We're drawing 7 right now with 25 cards, and 6 of them are Perils of Production. So I think actually an Intrinsic Echoes of the Past is the play here. And then we move on. We're going to chill a little bit on shards here. We have a sweeper. He's not at risk of dying, right? For 15? No. No, we're fine. Take that Mark of Invasion, yes. Money is good. I've been behind on money this whole run, so, you know, fair. Decent turn 1, right? Remember, Primordium, Chain of Gems. Alright, we did it. Great job. Cool. Now, we don't actually generate a lot of purples here, unfortunately. This is a nasty turn for this particular thing. We generate a little bit, but it's kind of whatever. It's, you know, it's enough damage that I'm at least not worried about losing as a result of it. We need to get his numbers over, what, 290 pretty quickly? It's an interesting situation to be in. I wonder, can I get this? Gosh, I can get this. You ping... How do I approach this? 1, 2... Yeah, okay, we can make them. We can make this cash, right? It's very greedy, but we can get past it. I probably actually... Okay, I was going to say I probably actually leak here, but this is a fantastic Bounding Echoes turn. Because this gets a lot of these Perils get hit here. I also draw the Force Contamination, though, which I actually think is relevant. Well... I'm going to play it anyway. But I'm actually going to play it on mid-floor. Hey, alright, good job. Hold on to the other Bounding Echoes. Alright, cool. Okay, 1 Perils down. Then we play Bounding Echoes. Now check this, right? We should be super okay here. And then we go Immortal Trade. Then we go Symphony of a Soul on Primordium. And we have achieved Transcendence, as this man is pushing 90 Rage now, which is pretty decent. Yeah, alright, cool. We did it. Monster Train. Incredible work. And we're guaranteed to not hit something good next turn. Fantastic. We love not hitting something good. Great. I guess it's not guaranteed. I do draw 1 extra card, but it's pretty unlikely. We're going to have downturns, and we're going to need to just accept it. Although, sometimes you just hit, right? Sometimes we just hit, and that is great news. I'll take a buff here. Sure, why not? Woo! Alright, fun. Okay, we're doing okay. I think we easily clobber this boss. I have no fears about whatever this boss is. I actually forgot their name. I care so little. We even get another Symphony of a Soul here, which is nice, right? Cool. You know, if I do 1,300 damage, I feel reasonably good about our situation in the mini-bosses, even if I completely miss multi-strike here. Right? Yes. 43 damage shield. You see, I feel okay about self-pinging, actually, now that I'm looking at this. Cool, great. You want to know what I actually want to do, though? And you're going to have to deal with me clicking my cards, because I'm going to force contamination this boss and send it to the absolute Shadow Realm, and... that was, yes, 9,667 damage. We love to see it. I'm playing Monster Train, alright? And I'm going to click the cards. Anyway, I'm going to take Wretch. That seems good. That seems good, yes. Now, I do need to skip more cards. Skip garbage. Yes. 100%. Okay, we're going to... what, chase the steel shop here? Do I actually care? Kind of. I forgot about Glareminder's Sunderstone. I'll tell you what, removals plus magic shop is pretty tempting here. Cutting bad cards, looking for a holdover is pretty high value. It's about as valuable to me as looking for upgrades on my unit. It's really just multi-strike though, right? And the dupe is, well, I mean the dupe is actually another Perils of production, if I'm being honest. But removing cards is probably more powerful, and I can maybe hit 20 consumes. I actually think we just give up the ghost. We hit this magic shop and we go, right? Yeah, goodbye. Goodbye Glareminder with 1 upgrade. It's fine. You know, it could have been worse. Double stack. 20 consume, fantastic. Cut that plink out. Every 20 consume is strong. And I can make Symphony of a Soul free. So even on a bad turn, I can play it, which is good. Winged Steel, I'm always clicking here. Lightstone Casing. I'm going to take this Horde in the middle. Winged Technology, let me tell you, man. Alley Construct's looking pretty tempting. I'm just going to take Grindstone, though. It's 25 damage to Primordium, which is nice. Man, these removals are going to be tasty. I'm looking forward to clicking this side, actually. Let's make Symphony of a Soul free. Double stack is not happening. Reroll. They actually show me a holdover, which is huge. Which means we actually are now guaranteed the Perils play, which is awesome. So, we're chilling. Right? We cut here. Now, the cuts no longer really matter, but I'm dropping a Plink. And I am dropping an Echo Break, just so I redraw the better stuff faster. And we win this for sure. Even with only 1 hit, it's fine. I'm going to look at this reroll. We could see something good. Carving Karuska is what I was just talking about. It is an Ember Generator, which is nice, but it's also just generally pretty decent. Now, what about Mark of a Champion? Is that, oh, what is it, 4 damage important? This is actually really good on the replay with Wretch, though, but it's going to only happen, what, like once or twice in the combat, potentially? Karuska's only, what, Force Contamination and Symphony of a Soul? And I have a holdover. I think if I didn't have the holdover, I would take Karuska. I'm actually going to grab this Mark of a Champion, and we're going to pop off a bit. And this seems like a pretty straightforward win to me right now. Cool. Yeah, great. 130 out of 100. This is the Train of Thought episode, so that's acceptable. And let's go crush Patient, or whatever you are. Seraph, the Temperant. Great job. Yeah, this seems strong. This seems like we've hit all the pieces we need. The extra draw from Winged Steel, by the way, actually huge. Not a great turn 1, but acceptable. I play the self-ping first. Then we plink. Then I Forgotten Trade. And I plink again. Now, you might be thinking Symphony of a Soul for damage shield here. It's actually really just this Echoes of the Past. This is a pretty awesome opener here. 46 damage. Now, we're slow is the problem, right? That is eternally going to be the issue here. Man, this would have been a great Bounding Echoes turn. We're slow in the sense that it is difficult to hit the damage numbers we need right now. We're going to do what? 142? I don't actually know if we kill this front guy. We do, actually, because of the Sunderstone. This is an excellent Bounding Echoes play. Fantastic. Tons of damage gained here. Yes. It's because he Sunders and then Primordium actually swings, which is pretty cool. But I actually could... Is it important to Sunderstone the boss? Not Sunderstone, Force Contamination the boss. I think it is actually relevant enough. Yeah, see, Primordium actually gets that kill there, which is nice. Because he comes up here, and then I think he's going to eat dirt. Yeah, he takes a casual 2,000 or some number here, which is pretty great, I think. Now, this is definitely the the Symphony of a Soul play. You could put this up front. It's not bad, but putting it in back is monumental, right? Tons of damage dealt. Just tons of damage. Cool. Play out the Perils here. Nothing too fancy. I think I am going to ping. Force Contamination again. Unfortunately, bad Wretch draw, but that's okay. I think we win this turn, right? 922. Yeah, easy. Just press end turn, it's over. Alright. I think it's going to look similar on the Divinity. As long as we can ramp fast enough to crush mini-bosses, and we should, because we're not at 200 shards, right? 200 shards are dicey. But the nice thing about the Divinity is the early 2 waves are actually pretty easy. This is not a fantastic turn 1. Remember Primordium first. It's important. Okay, the Plink is nice. I'm over here just thinking I need to generate purples. We get that Symphony of a Soul on turn 1 again. It's a little bit of a bummer. Now, the Wretch doing nothing is also unfortunate here, but that's fine, I suppose. Okay. Continue to play Perils of Productions. Yeah, alright, we can at least hit the Forced Contamination on the boss here to push 600. Alright, need a few good waves. Alright, first order of business. I actually think I want to try and get... Is it Forgotten Trade first? Our goal here is essentially... I wanted to see what I drew so I could maybe have a better Bounding Echoes play. I'm still going to play this because it's connecting with the holdover guy and the Immortal Trade, right? Which I think is relevant. I'm going to sacrifice this guy. Mid-floor, we will plink upstairs. Fine. Okay, I do need to Symphony of a Soul in the back, because if I let Primordium go one more round, he will get killed with the damage shield 1 here. So let's, first of all, play the Perils in the back here, because this is how I generate Ember. We're going to then drop Immortal Trait here. So I wanted to draw before I hit this other Bounding Echoes, which now makes this a massive play. We're going to do all of the buffs on Primordium here. And then we hit him with, you guessed it, Symphony of a Soul. This gives him 2 damage shield, which is enough to guarantee he gets eaten. And then we're going to drop this huge Echoes of the Past. And we now win, right? We now do enough to clobber here. By the way, behold my Sinner Salve value. Get out of here, Chains. No chance. Bit of a bummer on this Wretch draw, but it's not the worst. Could be worse than this. I can think of worse situations. Man, we almost don't take these. We almost don't take the Conduit, but it's fine. All good. We should do enough damage here to win. We do. In fact, have it. I think I actually win on this turn if I spend 10 seconds thinking about playing Force Contamination right. I think we're actually just super out. Cool, we did it. Great job. Thank you, no multi-strike. Sometimes you don't need multi-strike, right? You just gotta give up the ghost at times. I'm gonna tell you right now that final magic shop was the correct choice. And being able to identify that is really important, actually. I think, what if we'd gone right there and missed the holdover and then also missed the multi-strike? I still think we probably win because we've built this run strong enough that it didn't matter. But, you know, fair enough. You'd think my run were a little better looking with a 64k score, but it's not. Go to the run summary. I mean, some big pickups here. Things like Sunderstone, excellent. It's great. It was the only upgrade I put in my guy. Honestly, this dude is basically just like a naked Glareminder, kind of. Although I will grant, I was generating a decent amount of survivability and armor with the Carver infusion. That actually did matter on a number of combats. Let's not ignore the contributions of Shard Soul Carver here. I do think, by the way, Alloy Construct super wins this run. Not really concerned about it. You see all the pieces, right? There's a winged technology in there. We had Morsel Generation. There was, obviously, we have Primordium with Feast and Wretch. There was also a Shroud Spike. Literally getting no value from first Hell Pact in the best clan combo for it. I skipped both X-Costers because I needed other things, and, well, Shroud Spike wasn't particularly helpful here, so bummer. I mean, because I knew I was going to remove those Making of Morsels, right? And I did. I'm going to tell you right now, by the way, identifying the X5 on Perils of Production was huge. I think this is a huge game-winning play that we had to see. Also, by the way, taking the trial on Ring 2, I lose that run if I take that trial because of the generation on our enemies, right? The enemies were simply too powerful, so it's actually really important that I didn't take that trial, or this run loses very early. This is a great example of a run where little, minute decisions can cause you to lose, and the run cleans itself up decently once you get past it. Primordium doing a lot of heavy lifting here. I don't think we ever actually successfully wretched him, by the way. We had him, and I just never got a chance. We were winning too fast. So, Symphony of a Soul, by the way. This is big. This is actually really big here. We Symphony the buffs on Primordium, and he goes completely mad with power. Tons of rage, lifesteal, the whole 9 yards. Identifying, by the way, the 1 damage shield necessary in order for me to live the Divinity one more turn. Very important, by the way. That's actually pretty clutch. Light's Gift doing a lot of heavy lifting. There was quick on this run, which I could have taken, but Light's Gift essentially saved me 100 gold, is the way you should think about this here. It essentially was quick on my unit, more or less, is how it played out. So, pretty good in that sense. Winged Steel was excellent. Loved drawing into that, or rather drafting into it. Mark of a Champion, I mean, this actually wasn't important. The plan with Mark of a Champion was to use this with Wretch, but we actually simply got too strong too fast. The removals helped clean us up a lot. We were drawing very aggressively into things like the Symphony of a Soul on important turns. So we ended up not using it, which is crazy. I guess the +4 attack did pass through. It's not bad. It basically was worse than Worn Grindstone here. But, you know, sure. All right. Would Karuska have been stronger? I actually don't think so. Did I need the extra Ember for anything? No. Did I need the extra Echo for everything? No. Probably would have amounted to about the same amount of bonus damage, right? +4 on Primordium, then pass through 5 times is +20. I probably get less than that in terms of echo value on this combat, those combats. So, I mean, I think this had the higher upside, and actually, when you run the numbers, I think it's still stronger than Karuska here. So, fair enough. What else? Bounding Echoes was a gigantic pickup, by the way. This is. Oh man, I'm so glad we saw that. That was really important. What a weird early game, though. Yeah, what a strange early game. Just the way it played out was very aggressively bad, and then we just woo, go crazy from there. So good stuff. 5 turn on Seraph, 4 turn on Divinity, looking nice. I'll take it. Fair enough. All in X5 Perils of Production, Symphony of a Soul feels like a good run. Echoes of the Past with Intrinsic was helpful. That was a lot of initial damage that we did need, so important. And yeah, I think that's about as much as I have to say, so I will let you go there. Incredible. Hey, thanks a lot for watching this. I really appreciate your time. As always, you can give the video a like if you want. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and stay tuned for what's next. Take care, folks.